Hey y'all, I'm Mandy and this is Mandy in the Making. Today I'm going to bring you our top 5 Instant Pot recipes. So we've shared all 5 of these recipes here on my channel before, but they are the top 5 Instant Pot recipes that we have loved. The reason I'm sharing these with you today is because I have not been feeling my best this week. Been down in my back. I'm waiting to go to the chiropractor. I have an appointment soon, so hopefully everything will be back to normal and I'll have a brand new winter dinners for you next week. But this week we're gonna do Instant Pot recipes. If you are interested in skipping to a particular recipe, I put what they call chapters in my description box. So there's a timestamp and it tells you at that timestamp what recipe is starting. So if you're not interested in a particular one and you want to skip to the next one, just go down to the description box. There's a little arrow right underneath this video that expands the description box and you can click on the timestamp of the ones that you're interested in. Okay, let's get started. We're gonna go from number 5 to number 1. Tonight we are making a healthy chicken pot pie soup. And it can even be dairy-free. You can use coconut milk or almond milk, but I'm just gonna use regular milk. But since last night's meal was more of a comfort food, tonight is still a comfort food, but it's a healthy comfort food. I'm really excited about it. We're gonna use 2 different functions on the Instant Pot. Y'all, I'm brand new to the Instant Pot. I'm scared to death. But we're gonna saute first and then do the pressurizing stuff. I did my water test earlier today. It was comical, but I survived. Everything's okay. We're gonna do this. Let's go. Okay, the first thing I need to do is chop up all of my ingredients. I'm gonna use my bigger blade, or I guess the chopping blade instead of the dicing blade, for the carrots and celery. I don't know that I'm gonna need all of both of these carrots. I just need a cup of chopped carrots, so we'll see. Okay, I feel like that's good. So the recipe calls for 1-inch pieces of both of those, so that should be good. And now I'm going to put on the dicing attachment. Okay, our veggies are ready. So I've got some Yukon Gold potatoes here. This one I'm just going to quarter, and there's a reason for that. And then these I'm gonna cut into about 1-inch pieces. Hey, Gracie Lou. She's just patiently waiting over there, hoping that there's gonna be some cheese, and there's not. I've got 2 cloves of garlic that I'm just going to mince really quickly. Oh yeah, I forgot to quarter this large one. It's time. Well, isn't that cute? Ta-da! So I need to saute first. So let me set it to the saute function. And I think it will just automatically start. I'm pretty sure that's on about medium heat, which is what I want it on. So I'm gonna add a couple of tablespoons of olive oil to the bottom. And we're just going to sear our 2 chicken breasts for just a couple of minutes on each side. There we go. Okay, we're gonna do another 2 minutes on this side. Okay, it's been another 2 minutes. We're just gonna take these out for now and just put them on a plate and set them to the side. Now we're gonna add in our carrots, our celery, and our onion. And lastly, I'm gonna add in our garlic. We're gonna saute these for just a few minutes just to soften them up. While we're waiting on our onions to get translucent, I'm gonna add in some salt and pepper. Now that our onions are translucent, I'm gonna add in our small chopped potatoes. I'm gonna stir that around. And on top of this mixture, we're gonna put our chicken breasts back in here. And then on top of the chicken, I'm gonna put in our large quarters. And we're gonna pour in 3 cups of chicken stock. So I'm gonna turn off the saute function, so hit cancel. Let's put our lid on. And I'm gonna make sure that this is set to sealing. And now we are going to pressure cook this on high for 9 minutes. Okay, so we let it cook for 9 minutes and then we let it manually release or naturally release for 5 minutes, 6 minutes. Now we're going to quick release. Y'all see I am fully prepared over here. I ain't playing. Okay, I can do this. 3, 2, 1. Why won't I do it? There. Okay, now that our pan has gone down, I'm going to open it up. So now I'm going to remove my chicken. We are going to shred the chicken breasts. Now, those 4 larger potatoes, we're going to remove those and put them in this blender right here. I'm going to add in a 1/2 cup of milk and a couple of ladlefuls of this broth. And we're going to blend that. I'm gonna pour this back into our soup. Stir it around and let's shred our chicken. Well, it's definitely cooked all the way through, isn't it, baby?
Yeah, it's good.
Now I'm just gonna add our chicken back in. That chicken is hot. Hot, hot, hot. And baby, I think we're ready to eat.
That was good. This looks good. Yes. That's really good.
Yeah.
Oh man, it's fantastic.
It's been smelling good. Cole said it smelled good. But you like the way it tastes too, buddy? He's too busy stuffing his face to stick a thumb in here.
That's really good. It's very nice. It's very balanced. It's got good flavor. It's not too salty. It's really good.
My first Instant Pot meal. Oh, tell me what you think about that crescent roll. So I got honey butter crescent rolls.
Yeah.
Y'all like that better than regular crescent rolls?
Oh yeah, that's really good.
So Steven just said it best. The carrots and the potatoes, they just melt in your mouth. That's how soft they are. I really love this. It tastes a lot like chicken noodle soup, but honestly, I like it better because the noodles kind of take away from the flavor. They kind of mask the flavor a lot of times. There's so much flavor in this to be so simple and to have so few ingredients. I'm super impressed. Okay, so let's get started on the beef stroganoff. I've got my Instant Pot here. I'm gonna turn it on to saute function and we'll get that good and hot. Okay, so I'm gonna add just a little bit of olive oil to the bottom, or you could use cooking spray. And I'm gonna add in 1 pound of lean ground beef. We're just gonna brown this up completely. Okay, this has browned. I'm gonna add a little bit of salt and pepper to it. I'm also going to add some garlic powder and a little paprika. just to give it a little more flavor. I did drain off a little bit of excess fat. This was 93.7, so there really wasn't much. Now let's add in a small onion that I've diced. And it called for 1 clove of garlic, but I did 3 small cloves. Just saute this for a couple of minutes until they're tender. Something I forgot to mention, when you add in the onion and garlic, you'll also add in mushrooms if your family likes mushrooms. Me and Steven love mushrooms, but Cole not so much. Now I'm gonna add in a tablespoon of all-purpose flour, a can of cream of mushroom soup, two and 1/4 cups of low sodium beef broth, I'm gonna go ahead and stir that, and then we're gonna add in our egg noodles. So I've got our egg noodles here. This is a 16-ounce bag. I'm gonna use half of this bag. You only need 8 ounces. I'm gonna stir it one more time. Okay, now we're gonna pop the lid on here. So I had it on saute, I hit cancel, and now I'm gonna hit pressure cook. And we are only gonna be pressure cooking this for 2 minutes. Okay, so it has finished the 2 minutes, and we're gonna do a quick release. This is my least favorite part. Oh, that smells good. Okay, so we're gonna let this cool for just a second. I'm actually gonna turn it completely off. And then we're gonna add in some sour cream, and then it's time to eat. Now I'm gonna add in 1/3 cup to 1/2 cup of sour cream. I'm gonna do one more big scoop. There we go. Stir that through. Looks like a hamburger helper. What's your favorite hamburger helper, babe?
Beef stroganoff.
So there you go. I like the cheeseburger one, and then I really like the beef stroganoff as well. So that's what this reminds me of.
Here, how about some red pepper flakes?
He asked me if I put that in there, and I did not, so he went and grabbed it out of the
Gotta
cabinet.
kick it up some here. Oh boy. It's like hamburger helper. I mean, it's really good.
I mean, but it's better than hamburger helper,
Well,
right?
of course. I mean,
Okay.
it's, you know,
But that's what it reminds you of.
that's what it reminds me of. Hamburger helper. I love hamburger helper, so I'm glad we're having it.
Yeah.
Well, you need
But,
to get you a bite of them Brussels sprouts.
Cole is having a cow over the Brussels sprouts over
Right.
here.
Let's try this.
So good.
Wow.
So when I was making the Brussels sprouts, he said, but there's no bacon. So how do you feel now that there's no bacon? Is it okay?
Yes. First of all, they're cooked like all the way through, more so than when you have them on
Really?
the stovetop.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
They're cooked all the way through. They have that ranch dressing seasoning
Yeah.
on there,
Yeah.
and it definitely gives it kind of a. Is there breading on there too?
Parmesan cheese.
Parmesan cheese. Okay.
Yeah.
That's where it kind of gives you the impression that it's been breaded.
Okay.
Which is really good.
Yeah.
So it's a unique texture.
No, ma'am. No, it's not for you. It's not for you. You had to say hey? Oh, you want to reach up and say hey? Okay. Tell everybody bye. So I have to agree, this is super good. But Cole just told me he likes these Brussels sprouts better than he likes the ones with bacon. He said the ones with bacon, the bacon kind of overpowers it and takes away from the taste of the Brussels sprouts in his opinion, but he can taste it better in this, and it is so good and it's so much easier. So you remember the theme of this week is one pot meals. All of this is going to be cooked in the Instant Pot. We're going to saute our ground sausage, all of that directly over here in our Instant Pot, but let's go grab our basil. So as you can see, it's really dreary and there is a crow screaming in the background. So it has been raining all day, so I brought my herbs up here onto the porch. They're usually sitting out in the sun, but I didn't want them to get too much rain. So I've got these chives growing, which they are really getting big. So is this basil. It was teeny tiny when I first planted it. And this is actually not an herb, it's just a chili pepper. It has doubled in size since I planted it as well. Ooh, and it looks like we have some little buds on there. Do you see those? Let's grab a handful of basil and take it in. For this recipe, we just need a diced onion. I have a little over half of this large onion left, so we'll just use the rest of it. The recipe calls for 3 cloves of garlic. We had 4 left, so I'm just going to use all 4 of these. Lastly, I'm just going to chop up my basil, and then we are going to get everything in the Instant Pot. So in case you can't tell, we're using a new camera. I just got a brand new camera, and Stephen is very excited. He was like jumping around.
Yay!
Okay, let's get started. Let's get everything in the Instant Pot. Okay, so on our Instant Pot, we're gonna turn it onto saute. And we're gonna let that get hot before we do anything else. So my Instant Pot says that it's hot. I'm gonna add in about a tablespoon of oil. Now I've got a pound of Italian ground sausage. This is the mild. And I'm also adding in my onion. Okay, this is pretty much done. It's finishing up. I am gonna go ahead and add in our garlic. You wanna add it towards the end just so that it does not burn. Let that cook for about a minute and then we'll move on. Okay, now we're gonna deglaze the pan. I've got 4 cups of water. I'm gonna add about 1 cup now. And I'm just gonna scrape the bottom of the pan just to get any of these kind of dried bits on there. You don't want that on there because you'll end up getting a burn notice if you leave anything on the bottom. Now that I've scraped the bottom, let's add in the rest of our water. I've got 3 cans, 15 ounces each of tomato sauce. I've got a couple of tablespoons of dried parsley and 1 teaspoon of Italian seasoning. And we're also gonna add in our fresh basil. And now let's add in our lasagna noodles. I've got 9 lasagna noodles. I'm gonna break these up into smaller pieces and just add them in. Okay, I've got all my lasagna noodles in here. I'm stirring this around. I'm gonna go ahead and hit cancel because it's still on the saute function right now. Now I'm gonna put my lid on, turn it to sealing. Now I'm gonna hit pressure cook for 10 minutes. After the 10 minutes, we will just do a quick release. Okay, it's been 10 minutes.
lasagna soup. Never had lasagna soup. Well, it was good though.
It does look good.
Yes. That Italian sausage. You just cannot go wrong with that. There's so much flavor in that sausage. And how it just enhances and gives you that rich flavor. I love the spices in here. The sauce is really good. It's very reminiscent of lasagna.
So, Cole really likes this.
It's got that herb taste to it. Not
Yeah.
too powerful, and I've never been a fan of the herb kind of taste, but in this it's really good.
Yeah, it's got all the Italian seasonings.
Right.
So Stacy, these guys love it. Now I'm gonna give it a try. Well, Stacy said that she felt like this meal tastes like it's been cooking all day, but it only cooked for 10 minutes. I totally agree. This is so incredibly good. Thank you, Stacy, for sending this in. And I know there's not a lot of cold days coming up because we're going into summer, but this is great.
This was only cooking for 10 minutes.
It cooked in the Instant Pot for 10 minutes. Aight, he says. That's about as good as it gets. Okay, this recipe does not have a lot of chopping and dicing, just a little bit. I'm going to chop up some green onion just for garnish. I'm gonna be leaving the peas out of this recipe. I'm not a big pea fan, so we're gonna leave that out. I'll have the recipe linked below, so if this is something you're interested in, you can always check that out. It's in my description box. The recipe calls for 3 cloves of garlic, but these 2 cloves were really, really large, so I'm just gonna be using 2. Don't tell Steven. You know his motto is always more garlic. The next thing I need to do is rinse this rice. I have never used jasmine rice. I'm really excited to give it a try. The recipe highly recommended it, but I need to rinse it until the water runs clear. That just helps it not be so sticky. Okay, I just need 1.5 cups of this rice. I'm always scared that's gonna fall. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna leave this over here to drain for just a couple of minutes while we get started. Okay, so I've got my Instant Pot here. I'm gonna turn it on to saute. And while that starts to warm up, I am going to whisk together my 2 eggs. I've got a couple of teaspoons of vegetable oil in here. I'm gonna use half now and half again in a minute. So I'm gonna pour about half of this in. I'm gonna wait for that to heat up, and then we're gonna pour our eggs in and scramble those. Okay, these have scrambled. It only took about a minute. I'm gonna remove out my eggs. Remove out. Yep, that's what I'm doing. It's okay if a little bit stays behind. We'll scrape it all up here in just a minute. Okay, let's put the rest of our vegetable oil in there and throw our garlic in to saute for just a minute. Okay, that is good. I can smell it really well. Let's turn this off. I'm gonna hit cancel. And now we need to put in just a little of our chicken broth and scrape up the bottom so we don't get the burn notice. Let me grab another spatula that I can scrape with. Okay, so I'm gonna put in just a little, like I said. And just scrape the bottom. My wooden spatula would have been better for this, but I don't know where it's at. Okay, now that I've got all of that scraped off the bottom, we're gonna add in the rest of our ingredients. So I'm gonna add in the rest of our chicken broth. In total, we have 1.25 cups of chicken broth. I'm gonna add in our diced chicken. This is about 1 pound of chicken that I have cubed into like 1/2-inch pieces. Now I'm gonna throw in our cup of diced carrots. And lastly, our 1.5 cups of jasmine rice. Now the recipe says just to push the rice down so it's submerged in the water, but we don't want to stir. Okay, now I'm gonna close this up and we're gonna cook it on high pressure for 3 minutes. Okay, so I forgot to mention, after the 3 minutes, we're gonna let it slow or natural release for 10 minutes, and then we'll release the rest of the pressure and finish it up. Okay, I just turned it off, and I'm gonna release the remainder of the pressure. There's not a whole lot left. Okay, let's take the lid off. It looks good. Now let's add in our soy sauce. You will just use 3 to 4 tablespoons of soy sauce. And 1 teaspoon of sesame oil. I keep forgetting, several of you have told me if I get a binder clip, like a large binder clip, and clip it to the side, it'll keep it from turning. I keep forgetting to do that. Lastly, you would throw in your peas if you're using peas, and then your scrambled eggs. And then we will put our green onion on top, but let's give this a shot. Hopefully we like it.
Rice in the Instant Pot.
That's right.
Well, it looks good, smells good. It's got the eye test.
It looks good, so it has the eye test. Is that what you mean?
Pass the eye test. Let's try the taste test now.
Now, oh. So something I meant to do and I forgot is I wanted to buy some soybeans like the one from Sam's Club has. I'm gonna do that next time. Is it good?
Mm-hmm. Really good. It doesn't taste like a bad copycat fried rice, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like it doesn't have that like strange flavor to it or whatever when you try to, it's really good.
Yay.
Great flavors.
Cole loves it.
Love the veggies.
So you think, would you like me to add the soybeans in next time like we have in the
Yeah, try that next time.
Yeah,
try that.
I meant to do that because I like the little crunch of the soybeans in the one from Sam's Club. So, oh yeah, add you some yum yum sauce.
Yum yum sauce here.
If you don't know what yum yum sauce is, it's basically if you go to the Japanese restaurant and you get the shrimp sauce, that's what that is. We like.
Very good. Oh yeah.
Awesome.
Really good rendition of fried rice cooked in the Instant Pot. It's hard to believe that it's actually this good.
Yay. I almost forgot to update y'all. I'm in love with it. It is so good. Cole had 2 bowls. Steven is on his 2nd bowl. It is delicious. Definitely a keeper. Welcome back to the 3rd meal that I'm making today. You'll see the rest of this tomorrow, but we are marinating this overnight. I'm really excited about it. So we showed you that we had the chuck roast. We went ahead and put it in this large gallon-sized bag, and I'm just gonna start adding all of my ingredients for the marinade directly in here. I've got a cup of soy sauce. I'm using the low sodium soy sauce. I've got a heaping tablespoon of minced garlic, a tablespoon of ginger paste. I've got 2 tablespoons of toasted sesame seed oil. Oh, I said oil. Are you proud of me? Trying to be all fancy. 2 tablespoons of brown sugar. The recipe called for a tablespoon of chili flakes. I'm using a half a tablespoon because I didn't want to overdo it for mine and Cole's sake. Steven would have gone for the whole tablespoon, I'm sure. Okay, the very last ingredient that we need to do is this pear. It says unpeeled, but we're gonna grate this pear in our little cheese grater over here. I just think it'll work really well. So we've got this pear and we're just gonna grate it. I've never tried grating a pear before. Look at that. Okay, I'm just coming in here and just mashing this up really well, which is very easy to do. Pears are so soft. Okay, so let's add our grated pear into the marinade. That's it. Let's close it up and kind of mash it all together, and we'll just stick this in the fridge overnight. I think she said you want to marinate for at least 4 hours, but you could also do overnight, so that just sounded like a great idea to me. That's it, folks. It's going in the fridge overnight. I'll see you tomorrow. Okay, y'all, so it has been marinating all night long and it smells so good. Here, take a whiff. So what we're gonna do is take the entire contents of all of this and just dump it directly into our Instant Pot, and we're gonna pressure cook it on high for 40 minutes. Okay, we've only got about 15 more minutes until this is done. So we're gonna make kind of our Asian slaw to go on top of our tacos. So let me show you our ingredients. She said you'll need an Asian salad mix. She said she prefers Taylor Farms, I think is the brand, but my grocery store did not have it. Some sriracha and some mayonnaise, and y'all know I'm gonna use Duke's. Okay, so let's dump our salad mix in here. We're only gonna use about half of this dressing that comes in there. Now we need about a tablespoon of sriracha sauce. And about a half a cup of mayo. Okay, let's just mix this up. Okay, it's done. You can either allow it to naturally release, or you can do a quick release, which is what we're gonna do because we hungry. I wish y'all could smell this house. It smells so good. Okay, I was going to attempt and shred this in the Instant Pot, but although it's very tender, it's hard to do in the Instant Pot because, you know, this twirls around the entire time. So we just pulled it out and we will put it back in there to soak up the juices here in just a second. Okay, over here in the microwave, I have these really large burrito size tortillas. She said to use the fajita size, and I would have, but we already had these on hand and I didn't want to waste them, and we weren't going to use them otherwise. So I'm going to heat these up really quickly. Okay, so we shredded it and cut it. Some of it was able to really easily shred, and then other pieces was, I don't want to say tough, but it wasn't as easily shreddable. But we got it all chopped up. Now we're gonna put it back over into this yummy sauce.
I'm excited. All right, here we go.
So it's very large burrito tortilla there, but I've already tasted it. Just a heads up, y'all, it's good.
That's mind-blowing. Wow. Oh yes, spicy,
Yes.
bold,
Yes.
rich. But there's just so much going on here. I mean, obviously the flavor of the meat is overwhelming. Like it's just
bold.
It's really bold. It's
yes.
in your face. It's,
yes.
And then with the spicy mayo Asian slaw, that just, I mean, like there's just so many different little flavors going on there. You got the difference in texture because of the slaw, the crunch, and then the spicy mayo, and but that beef is just incredible. Very reminiscent of the Korean barbecue bulgogi, I guess you could say is what they call it.
Yep.
It's really good.
So this is something that you want me to make again? Thank you, Tia, for sending this. I know I said I already tasted it. I did. I tasted it when I was plating it up. I haven't had mine yet. So I'm excited to have it with the Asian slaw with it. So let me give that a shot and then I'll come back. Don't be surprised if you see this in a favorites video for next quarter. Oh my goodness. This is phenomenal. Steven said if you don't like, or if you like bland food, you will definitely not like this. This has so much flavor. It's ridiculous. So good. Give it a try. I hope you enjoyed going back and seeing all of our favorite Instant Pot recipes. Give this video a thumbs up if you did. And if you haven't already, I would love for you to hit that red subscribe button below and join my YouTube family. Thanks, y'all, and I'll see you next time. Bye. I would love for you to hit that YouTube subscribe button. Not to be confused with some other subscribe button. Tell Mom's best friend. Mom doesn't feel good and I take care of her. It's okay. You're the best girl. The best one. Oh, that piece good. Oh, that piece so good. It's like it knows. Okay.
Calm down.
All right, ready?
I'll tell you something right now.
You tell us.
This is Mandyinthemaking. All right?
Don't you point that breadstick at me.
Just in case you can't read the channel name. Mandyinthemaking. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button.
That's right, tell him, babe.
I mean, because about half of y'all haven't done it. Let's be real. Okay? So go ahead and hit the subscribe button. And because we know you want to hear about when she uploads her videos, you need to hit the notification bell at the bottom.
That's right.
Not super hard, just like right next to the subscribe button. So just hit that.
Yeah. All right.
Let me show you something.
Oh no.
I'll be right back.
Okay.
1 bag of breadsticks from Olive Garden is not enough. So we got 2 bags of breadsticks.
We did not order 2 bags of breadsticks from Olive Garden.
Well,
they just gave them to us.
Maybe we did. Maybe someone made a mistake when they ordered. And now we have 2 bags of breadsticks. No one's complaining.
No.
Okay?
Literally no one. All right, well, that's nice. Gracie Lou, you tell him hey?